watch
How?
this?
How?
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 Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in a genre we love, but they don't. My name is Demi and I love horror.
My name is Megan and I love romance.
And this week I had Megan watch the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984 original Wes Craven film. What's going on?
Yep. I don't
Are you
know.
just
I
so
think we have
excited
a
to talk about
lag.
this fucking movie?
So excited. So excited. Demi and I hung out yesterday and it was really hard not to discuss the film during that time. Luckily, you hadn't rewatched it yet. So we had a little.
No, and it's been a long time since I watched. I
Mhm.
watched this maybe like twice when I was younger.
Yeah, that's
and I remember
healthy.
being scared of this dude. Like I was like, this
Yeah.
is scary.
I'm sure for a kid that would be
And
scary.
then now, yeah, as an adult
now.
watching this, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What?
Is this your first time watching it as an adult?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Great. Yeah. All right. I'm glad we get to talk about this and have some revelations together.
Yeah, definitely. It's like watching it again.
Yeah.
All new.
For the first time, basically.
For the first time.
Yeah. So Nightmare on Elm Street is part of our thread, Celebrity Crush, because a baby Johnny Depp was in it, to the point that okay, I'll tell you about it as we go along. Along. But I was like, I did not recognize this man. He did not look like himself at all.
He's so big. Like he had like a baby face. It is
He
crazy.
did. Like I'm used to his chiseled freaking jawline. And I was just like, so, okay, I'll say it now. So we're watching it and Travis goes, that's Johnny Depp. And I was like, that's Johnny Depp?
You didn't recognize
That's
him that
Johnny
much.
Depp? I'm staring. I knew Johnny Depp was. He's like, you knew
Yeah.
Johnny Depp was in the movie? I was like, you figured that out without knowing Johnny Depp was in the movie? I don't know this man. I've never seen this man in my life. He looked. And I Googled pictures. I'm like watching this movie, but also looking at old pictures of Johnny Depp. And I don't know. He must have done something in that year, because pictures of him later in that year show him with the jawline. So what?
Yeah, I mean he was 21. So he was very young. This was his first movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it said introducing Johnny Depp on the title screen. And I was like, introducing?
Just crazy. And when Wes Craven was casting for that role, there was like between 3 people, and his daughter was like, are you kidding me? You have to cast Johnny Depp. He's a dreamboat. And I'm like, yeah, she knew what was up.
She did.
But yeah, it's just like even his hair, like it looks like a different guy. Like he's still adorable. Like he's so cute, but he looks cute, you know, like he definitely molds more. And some guys take a bit to
refine.
Yeah. But
I was like, I didn't recognize him, and Travis was like, well, maybe it was like all the drugs. Maybe it was all the drugs that chiseled him out. I was like, I don't think it does that. I think we would see a lot more really hot crackheads in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I don't know if he started like working out more. I
don't know. I think
idea.
that maybe he just, you grow up a little bit, and you maybe, I don't know, something just like he just
something
got a little,
clicked.
Yeah. A little there. And then he was like, you think you got work? I was like, no. Why would you ruin perfection?
Definitely not. Like, he looks the same. It's just he does look young.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was a little younger, and I was like, please, for love of God, let him be like at least 18, 19.
Yes, I know.
He was 21, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, he does. He looks young, and it's hard.
Yeah.
I feel like I have such a hard time. Like, anyone, I feel like under 25, I like cannot distinguish. Like, I'm not good at figuring out your ages. You all just look like very young.
It's just like
very
babies.
youthful. Yeah, babies. You're just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
So the movie is 1984, rated R, length 1 hour and 31 minutes. And I felt the whole time.
It was short, but not. I was like.
No. I was just like. He like
Any
kept
day
going.
now.
Yeah. Just like all the scenes were as long as they could be.
It just felt, I don't know. It
There were a
felt like
couple
a dream. Like it was like weird. I was like, everything's long. Everything's weird.
Everything was long.
So.
And I was like rooting for people to die at one point. So I was like, something happened. Something. They're wandering a boiler room again.
fucking boiler room.
The boiler room is great. It's a slasher horror. And let me pull out my notes and take you through the journey that is this movie. So some of the description is going to be a little bit challenging because, like Demi said, there's a lot of dreamlike things that are occurring. So I'm going to do my best to explain it in a logical way. Sorry. It's not the most confusing movie we've ever covered, but it's not the most straightforward either. So we start with like the creation of the little stabby finger machine claw hand, which I was like, oh, I didn't know. And Charles was like, you didn't know Freddy Krueger had like what? I was like, I don't know Freddy Krueger. What do you mean?
You're new to this.
This is all new for me. He was like, you didn't watch like Jason versus Freddy? Why would I watch that? Why would I watch that?
The only reason you would know about Freddy Krueger is just like because he's like one of the most popular horror villains. So like you would see his face, but
his face,
yeah,
and like his outfit. But I don't think I like. And like now that I've watched the movie, I'm like, I probably knew that in the back of my mind, but
not right. If you're not watching horror, like you would recognize him, but yeah, and the glove was real. So the director wanted something that like he would make himself. So that's why the beginning of the movie is showing him crafting it. And so it was crafted for real and it was sharp. And the actor who played Freddy, named Robert Englund, when he first put it on, he cut himself because he folded his hand and it cut like on his wrist. And so they used like really sharp one for the movie as well as a plasticky one, and so some scenes had the real one and some scenes didn't, but that's like pretty hardcore.
That's insane. I would not. You could easily make that a dull blade too. Like it could be real and dulled. You don't have to make it stabby, but whatever.
I don't know.
Well, I guess to cut through like the fabric and stuff as they did.
Yeah, fabric, and I guess maybe to make the sound when he's like stretching on shit. I don't know. But it was a real good thing they made. It was real sharp, and they wanted something a little more unique for him, so they didn't go with like
definitely
a knife.
unique.
And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. So we have a girl running, and this is the theme. This is very. I feel like is this movie the beginning of the barely dressed white t-shirt woman running in horror films, or is this just calling back to?
I don't know. It's hard. I think like the 80s just had that aesthetic. Like everyone's titties were out. So I don't know who would have started it.
No.
But yeah, I mean.
There's literally one scene where the girl in her dream, or right before bed, something changes into a white t-shirt for the purpose of her dream. And I was like, why? Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Aesthetic.
So she's running and gets scratched by Kreuger and basically wakes up and she's screaming. We later learn, Tina, and she actually has the rips in her dress. So clearly something, it seems like, happened in the dream and then happened in real life. And her mom comes running in and she's just like, you have to like
trim your nails.
File your nails and stop having those kinds of dreams as if anyone has control.
Thanks, Mom.
I literally have the most unhinged dreams all the time. I had a dream last night that Copper was went swimming in a river and then just sat on the bottom of the river and kept like running away from me and wouldn't come up to the surface. You want me to stop having dreams like those? I wish.
Right. Well, I can't control that, Mom.
No.
Also, I would be a little more nervous seeing that. And be like, oh, that's interesting. I don't like that.
Right. Like, what do you
had a dream about a man with a clawed glove who scratched me, and I now have scratches on my dress.
Yeah.
So.
I'll be like, at the very least, it's a cry for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I have my first quote of the movie for you. It's next day. Yeah. Tina is headed into school. She's chatting with her friend, and this guy who she's kind of with runs up and says, quote, "I had a heart-on when I woke up with your name on it, Tina." Unquote. And Travis looked at me and he was like dying, and he was like, is this how they think guys talk to each other? Like, who wrote this?
Some do.
It's like,
what did she say back?
Pickup line? I think she just kind of laughed.
She said that 4 letters was too much, would be too much to fit onto his dick.
That's funny. Good for her.
So, pretty good comeback from Tina.
That was really good. So we learn that the friends, the 2 girls, both have the same dream. So Nancy is the friend. They both have the same dream. Nancy's comes over to Tina's house that night along with Glenn, who is Johnny Depp. To keep her company because she's scared after having that bad dream. And then the dude with the boner shows up. His name is Rod. Yeah, he shows up and Tina doesn't want anyone to leave. She doesn't want Nancy or Glenn to leave because she's like scared and whatever. She proceeds to have incredibly loud sex with Rod. I was like, what? Why would you do that?
So
could you imagine?
My God.
I would leave. I'd be like, I don't care that you don't want me to leave. I'm leaving. Tina, hang out with me or hang out with your boyfriend and do that, but do not do this to me. Tina is hearing her name getting called and she decides to go out into the alley in her bare feet and just a t-shirt. Couldn't be me. Someone's calling my name outside.
Well, dream.
Yeah, she's dreaming, but you're right. It is, we don't realize this as the viewer, but like she's dreaming and goes outside in her dream. A lot of stuff
that's like, I was thinking like, why the fuck? And I'm like, well, if it's a dream, I've definitely worn and not worn things in dreams that would be inappropriate for that situation. So
I don't remember what I wear in dreams.
No.
So, no. I'm focused on the other crazy things that are happening. Like the random composite creatures my brain makes up. So, Kreuger comes down the alley and he's got these long arms.
That's the silliest.
It's the goofiest introduction of this villain. It's like our first time fully seeing him and his arms are going from like building to building, fully stretched out. I was like,
they're like, stretched so you can scratch like both ends. And I'm like, what is this?
So dumb.
I was scared of this man. Are you kidding me?
I know. And then he does this throughout the movie. He does all this random stuff where he just like, he's like, look. And then he like chops off his own finger and it like oozes green. And like all throughout the movie, he's like, look. And then he like cuts. What are you doing?
He's just like a silly guy. Like the way I see it is that he has like full control of what's happening. So he's just like, look what I could do. Is this scary? Like, does this freak you out? He's just like a goober. I don't know.
He is. He's like a clown. His skin falls off, all this sort of stuff. So
he like cuts his chest and there's like worms and shit. And it's like, ooh,
gross.
Like that.
So we realize now she's having a nightmare, except it's real because she's screaming and thrashing and Rod like is there watching as her torso is like sliced open and she's thrown about across the room. She like knocks him out with his like foot.
She like spins. And
dude, it's like comical. I was like, what is happening? I said to Travis,
did laugh when he like his little white tinies against the wall.
I did. I laughed. You can't help it. I told Travis at the beginning, I was like, it's not going to be scary. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's an 80s slasher. Like, it's not. Have you seen Halloween? Like, it's not going to be.
Not scary. No.
Not scary. There's so much blood that looks like someone took one of those diner ketchup bottles and just like squirted the walls.
So much blood. This movie took, I think it was over 500 gallons of fake blood were used for this movie. There was so much blood in this movie.
That's crazy. So the detective on the case is Nancy's dad. And she tells her dad about the nightmares. And obviously they're not going to believe that this was created. Like this death of her was created by some monster. They're blaming Rod, who ran out the window the minute this murder happened.
Yeah. And to be fair, doesn't have a good relationship with police, so he's kind of a bad guy. So if your girlfriend was killed in that way, I'd be like, you know what, they're never gonna believe me. So I don't blame him for leaving, but also like,
I mean, I don't blame him.
There's no good situation for this, but
yeah. So she doesn't sleep that night, Nancy. Nancy's our main character, by the way. Nancy doesn't sleep that night. She obviously doesn't do well because she saw her friend's mangled body and the bedroom covered in blood. And yet decides to go to school the next day and tells her mom, I'll sleep in study hall. And we get the first glimpse of the mom hiding a vodka bottle, which becomes a very prevalent and goofy theme. throughout this movie. So on her way to school, Rod grabs her and pulls her into the bushes, and then lo and behold, there's her detective dad, and he catches Rod and they arrest him, and she's like, "You used me," and like, okay. She jumps in front of her dad's gun, which is the stupidest.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm like, girl, she has no evidence that this was not done by Rod.
Right. She like fully believes him, and like, it doesn't seem like Rod is like a close friend of theirs. But like, how are you gonna fully believe this man? Like, even if it was a close friend, I'd be like a little suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but I would be a little bit like worried about all of that.
I don't know, maybe because she has the same dream, but it's just, she was like too much like, no, he's like, didn't do that at all. And I'm like, oh, no.
No, she was very adamant that she knew exactly what was happening the whole time. Like,
yeah.
Okay, very
true final girl.
Yeah. So she falls asleep in class and she sees Tina in a body bag and follows the blood trail. She runs into a hall guard who said she needs like a hall pass, but it's Kreuger in disguise. It's like you can see from the striped sweater or whatever. Once again, we get some slices of chests and whatever. He does a foul tongue thing to her, which I hated. I almost made that my deleted scene.
And he is
just gross. So she ends up burning herself on the boiler in the dream to wake herself up, and she has a burn on herself. And so she is like, I'm gonna go, and just walks out the school, which like it's a different time, I know.
Right.
So she visits Rod, and in my notes, I continually put Ron, and I just double checked, and it is in fact Rod. So I clearly have hearing problems. So he says the intruder was invisible, and they're both talking about this so calmly. And I feel like if I saw my significant other, my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, sliced open in front of me by invisible hands, I would not be able to confidently be like, the person was invisible. I would just be like, I'm going insane.
Yeah, I don't know how I would have. I mean, wait, because the way it happened was like she's getting cut up and then she's getting dragged onto the ceiling and she's screaming and she's reaching out for him, and then she gets cut more and thrown on the bed and dies. So like it does seem like something like supernatural. I would have thought like a demon or a ghost or something was like pulling her around and killing her. I don't know if I would have gone for like I guess invisible. Like, I don't know, a ghost, but I definitely would have been not right in the head.
No, for sure. I probably would have gone demon. I think if I was 16, 17 years old, I would have probably gone demon.
Well, Tina was fucking 15 in the movie. And I was like, 15? Ain't no way her ass was 15. yeah. And I was like, I thought all teenagers were at least like 17, you know? Like, that was the rule, right? They're all 17-year-old. And
my God.
I was like,
well, honestly, I feel like Rod should go to jail.
Yeah, how old is Rod?
I don't know, but
I know his ass ain't 15. So,
all right. Well, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
Okay. Rod mentions he also had a nightmare about Kreuger. So we know that like this dream man is showing up in everyone's dreams. So that night, Nancy takes a bath, and I hated this. His like little knife hand comes up between her legs, and I was just like, stop. I hate
very iconic image, but it's like, ooh.
I hated it. Once again, this is almost my deleted scene.
The actor for Kreuger, he's like, I love to say that wasn't me who did that. It was the special effects person, and the way they did it is that they had a hole in the tub. So it's goofy because I watched the behind the scenes. So you see his head like sticking up, and like the actress is sitting there, and then he would hold his breath and go down, and then he would put his hand up, and this was the sharp glove. They didn't use the plastic one, the sharp glove. And they were telling him like how to, like, they were like lower down or go slow, and then he would go back. And I'm like, that is so dangerous. Why would he do that?
Girl.
So yeah, crazy scene.
Oh my God.
But
that's horrifying.
Yeah.
No. So she basically had fallen asleep in the tub, and the mom knocks on the door, wakes her up, and then she falls back asleep and ends up getting drug underneath the water and having like a wrestling match with Kreuger. The mom tries to break in, and then she just like, she tells her mom she slipped getting out of the tub. It's like this weird, I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you
Yeah, I don't know why she was just like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, why would you not tell your mom?
Like, did she just immediately forget? That's the only thing I could think is if you like woke up and forgot your dream.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird why she did that. But so now I guess she doesn't want her mom to worry.
It was just dumb. But she basically starts a caffeine addiction at this point where she starts taking caffeine medicine so she doesn't sleep. Fair. However, she also watches a scary movie. Stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself. So Glenn, aka Johnny Depp, shows up and she looks at herself in the mirror and says, "Oh God, I look 20 years old."
I know. Girl, shut the fuck up.
Look how rude. I wonder how old the actress actually was. Actually,
I don't know how old she was.
Let me see. So the actress is Heather Langenkamp. She was born in 1964, so she was 20. She was 20. Okay. That's actually really funny.
So in the movie, she had to be like 15 or 16.
Yeah. Because they're in high school, but
yeah.
So she basically says that she's going to go on the lookout for Kreuger and that Glenn has to play watchman.
Which is like crazy. I would never want to be looking for this man. So for her to be like, I'm just going to find this bitch myself. I'm like, you know, you go, girl, but could it be me?
No, not at all. This is how I know. This is why I'm going to tell you right now. Spoiler alert, my survival is 0.
Oh, yeah.
Zero. I'm dead. First of all, I'm not staying awake multiple nights in a row. I am falling asleep first night and he's taking me out.
The amount of times I just doze off, like playing video games or just like reading, there's no way I would survive this.
No. It's an insane concept. The fact that I've yawned 42 times. Since we started recording. Like,
I can't like lucid dream either. So like, you could like lucid dream maybe, but
yeah, lucid dream is like such a flex. I would love to lucid dream.
I know, so cool.
My dreams are just so weird. They're always weird. She calls for Glenn, and Glenn's there. So I guess somehow they can communicate in their dreams. But that's about as far as they go with that storyline.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a thing where like she called him out like while she was sleeping, or if it was just completely in a dream. Like she called out to him, but like Glenn didn't hear her. It was just in her dream. He's like, I'm here, but it wasn't. So,
I don't know.
Not clear.
So no, it's not. So she sees that Kreuger's going after Rod, and she sees Tina in her body bag again. And
which this poor actress had to like Freddy Kreuger legit wear. And she hated it.
Oh my God.
I don't blame her. Yeah.
I hate that for her.
Yeah. And then like the same scene, she has like the centipede come out of her mouth. So like they did it twice with a bust of her face with like a real centipede coming out. And then they did like a fake one. So her real face and like a fake bug that she like spat out. Yeah, I was like, ugh. But they had like real fucking worms and shit like at her feet, and I was like, damn, this poor girl probably did not know what she was signing up for.
And did not get paid enough.
Probably not. No.
So Kreuger's chasing her, and she's running home, and her like feet are falling through the stairs. It's very dreamlike, like the way that you would be slowed down in a dream
or whatever. Cool. I actually like that.
Yeah, scene. I did. I liked that too. I was like, I found it good. I'm assuming practical effects.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was really well done. She wakes up from her alarm, which I guess she had set. So that was pretty smart of her. And she sees that Glenn has fallen asleep and he's officially dead to her now.
Breaking up.
I'm like, dude, he was gonna let you die.
For real.
She and Glenn run to the police station to save Rod, and Kreuger ends up really grossly using the sheet to like strangle Rod and make it look like he hung himself. And so they get there just too late, where he's finished, just like took his last breath, and proceed not to even try CPR.
That's what I was like, I'm pretty sure you could save this man if you did CPR.
Give him a couple of chest pumps. They literally checked he must have still been warm. They like touched his neck and they're like, all right, well, he's out of here.
Damn, okay.
Right.
Poor Rod.
So then the daughter, Nancy, gets in the car with the mom, and the dad tells us to take her home. And the mom's like, no, I've got a better idea. I'm going to get her some help. And does something really smart and takes her to go do a sleep study. And I was like, that was a really great idea. You know what? Honestly, if I was the mom, I feel like that might have been the next step I do. So the mom's smoking in the office. They're like looking at the charts, and everything goes off the charts. It's like, it's going nuts. Something's happening. And she ends up bringing back Freddy Krueger's hat with her. And she has cuts on her arms and her hair turned white in one spot. So weird things are happening.
Crazy, yeah.
Super crazy. And I'm like, at this point, like, people should be taking notice. Like, there should be cameras filming her.
Right.
Like,
there's no way the scientists would let her out. They'd be like, we need to study this bitch.
Exactly. So this is the point when I realized the mom's an alcoholic, because there's just more with this bottle of her hiding it and pouring it and then fighting. Yeah. So the two of them are fighting, and then she screams at the mom for being an alcoholic and breaks the bottle on the ground. And she learns that Freddy Krueger is dead. So she learns that the mom knows who Freddy Krueger is, and he's actually a dead man. So don't worry, you're fine. He's not going to hurt you. Meanwhile, she's saying he's killing her in her dreams, so I don't think she's really worried about his state of wellness in the current world.
Right.
So then Glenn and her are just like talking. She's reading a book about booby traps, and he's talking about dream skills or something. I don't know. I blacked out the whole dream skills point. I don't know.
It was like basically lucid dreaming.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was like so goofy the way he like brought it up. He's like, did you know? I was like, okay, Glenn.
Dude, it was so random. I was like, where is this coming from? So she gets home, and Nancy sees that there's bars over her windows, and the trellis has been ripped down. And the mom's basically like, I'm going to keep you safe. Like, look, no one's going to get in and hurt you. She takes her to the cellar and shows her that she actually has Kreuger's hand thing, because Freddy Krueger was a child murderer who got away on a technicality. And the local parents were so upset because he killed like 20 kids that they tracked him down to his boiler room and they blew it up. And she had his knives after the fact, because I guess they survived the blowing up, and she got in there and took them for a souvenir.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, originally, Kreuger was also a child molester. Because the director was like, I gotta think of like the worst shit possible, and like that's it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it is, but
like the worst type of guy would be that. But they didn't include that in this movie because there was like, I won't say an epidemic, but there was like some stuff going on in California with like pedophiles, and they like decided not to include that. But
it was a little too sensitive.
Yeah, but like technically he is, and it's like really gross to know. And in the remake, they emphasize, like they bring that lore back in. Okay. He is also, because it's like, yeah. It's like kind of goofy that he's just like killing kids. Like, what an asshole. But like, if he's a pedophile, like molester, it's like, okay, well, he's doing.
I'm gonna be honest. I just kind of assumed he was, because I was like, he's the worst.
Like, why would you kill kids like, for no reason?
Right. He did that weird tongue thing.
Right. So like, that's where like all the weirdness, it like makes sense, because these are kids, teenagers, and he's a disgusting man.
Yep. Foul. So then we see Glenn is in a crop jersey. I was like, whoa.
I love that.
I know you do.
So
I'm
fire.
sure you were like obsessed with that look. I was like, damn.
Were you not?
I mean, I was like, that's slutty.
It is. I love it.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you know what? It works. It works.
Yeah,
it works. I did recently say to my sister, like, I don't really get like crop tops on dudes, but then I saw that and I was like, you know what? Maybe I do.
Maybe I could get it.
Yeah, if Johnny Depp does it,
yeah.
So he also gets away with it. He's like,
it's true.
Yeah,
not everyone can pull it off.
No,
but
no,
when you can,
should make our husbands crop tops.
Bro would never.
Travis would put it on as a joke and then be like, why do you wear these?
Shame.
So it's been 7 days of no sleep. 7 days.
Crazy.
Yeah. She does this whole thing where she's like literally hiding a coffee pot under her bed.
It's like so goofy shit in this movie.
Yeah.
Too.
So then to go to bed, she changes into a white button up, which is just so bizarre to me. That's what I mentioned earlier, where it's like she knows what she's about to do. She wants to throw down with Kreuger. Why would you put a button up on? That's my last choice.
I would wear like a full military.
Yes.
Bulletproof vest, like soldier uniform.
Absolutely. You would not catch me.
Strap some freaking knives to myself.
No, like just in a button up, the least flexible fabric ever. You're in like a stiff suit. So we also catch a glimpse of the mom drinking alcohol and hiding it in the linen closet, apparently. She's like glugging it. Like, it is comical. So calls Glenn. She's like, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. And he's falling asleep. He's like the worst. I don't know why she trusts him at all
Glenn,
now.
dude. But like the thing is, he like wasn't having dreams, right? I think he was.
I think he was.
I forget like if he eventually started to, but like he was kind of like, I slept fine most of the time. So like he like really wasn't being affected like the other ones were at first.
She tries calling the house phone, and the dad ends up putting the phone off the hook. He's like, I don't trust this girl. Something weird is going on, which I can understand.
Fair.
And she can't get a hold of him. And basically, there's like a weird scene where a tongue comes out of her phone.
Dude.
Gross.
And it was like, it was like the bottom of the phone has like skin and then like a mouth and a little tongue comes out. I was like, ew, why?
Disgusting. So the mom is wasted at home. So she's gone. Like Nancy's trying to leave. She wants to go save Glenn, but she can't get out of the house because the mom like deadlocked the house. Yeah. And that is honestly such an unsafe thing.
Right. And also like it's like in her head. So like being trapped in here is the worst thing that I could do, really.
Not great. Not great at all. Could you imagine your house is on fire and you have deadbolted it with a key and then you can't find the key? Like, what do you... Anyway.
Everything's gated, the windows and shit.
No, it's not good. So Glenn is watching TV with the television in his lap. And then I have my... I was like, I don't understand this. How are you even asleep? So... then is my most memorable scene, which is that he gets pulled into the bed and out flows a blood volcano.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's really gross. So the detective shows up to the house and Nancy's like, come over here in 20 minutes because I'm going to get this guy. Which I would go over there in 20 minutes because I would be like, what is going on with you?
Right.
What do you mean?
Nancy's wildin'. She's like, I mean, her friends are dying. So at this point, she's like, I'm going to fuck it. Good for her. Good for her. Yeah. You know, I guess at this point, it's like, well, I either let him kill me or I try to fucking kill him. So,
don't
fair
got
enough.
Much choice. So she sets up a bunch of booby traps, goes to bed, and then she goes on a Kreuger hunt. And they're in the boiler room again. And she jumps and manages to end up at her house. So I guess she does a little lucid dreaming there to end up back home. It's her dream skills.
Like she's mastered it.
Right. So she manages to actually grab him and bring him back with her into real world. She's yelling for help.
Helps me.
I really need some help. So she's yelling for help, and one of the detectives is like, I guess I better get her dad. The windows break so easy, so effortlessly. Mm-hmm. She lights Kreuger on fire and the house is smoking and they break open the door to save her and she runs to show them, but there's burning steps leading up to the mom and he's attacking the mom, Kreuger, and Kreuger basically burns the mother alive and then they both fall into the bed and then they disappear. And then
the mom like cracked me up because the way her skeleton was laid, dude, when she had like a peace sign was like later.
Dude, it was like that meme of the like mummified like thing that gets posted whatever. It's always like dead. Like you know that little like that thing. Like that's what she looked like.
It was like just so comical that scene.
Yeah,
but it was like shocking. I was like, oh fuck. Bye, Mom, I guess. Damn.
Yeah,
shit.
I wasn't expecting it. The dad and the daughter hug. And then...
Thank God your alcoholic mother's dead.
Right. Seriously. So then she's like, I'm fine. Like, go away. And then she sees, like, Kreuger again, I guess. And she's like, I take back my energy. You're nothing. I'm like, what? Or is she, like, casting a curse? Like,
It's like... She's like, I don't believe in you. And I'm like...
Right.
What? That's
Is this all it takes? It's like Santa? Like, he stops coming because So then it fades to white, I think, or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's basically the next thing you know, her and her mom are walking out of the house and there's kind of like this fog all around.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, I'm all better now. I'm not going to drink anymore. And her friends are like in the car down to pick her up. And So she goes to the car and then waving goodbye to the mom, and then the car closes, like it's like convertible, and it's the Kreuger stripes on the car. So Kreuger is the car, and it drives off out of their control, and an arm reaches through the door and grabs the mom, and that's how it ends.
He pulls her through the little window.
Yeah, through the little window. So that very end, the minute that, like, I'm splitting the scene in half, the minute when it starts closing, that's my deleted scene. I just don't get it.
I hated that ending. I hated that ending.
It's like stupid.
It is stupid. So the director originally wanted it to be where, like, kind of similar, but Nancy was like, I had this weird dream, and it was the whole movie was like a nightmare for her.
Yeah, that's everything what I thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah, and because he was like, oh, I want like a happy ending. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. Like, I know the whole like, oh, it was all a dream, but this was in the 80s, so it was like newer. Yeah, and I'm like, I would have liked that. But then the co-producer, co-director, whatever, was like, no, we have to do a twist because all horror movies have twists, and I fucking hate when they do that. And he wanted like Freddy Kreuger to be driving the car, some shit like really goofy. And Wes Craven was like, all right, this guy's like helping with money and stuff. We should compromise. So this was to compromise. And I was like, it's so dumb. I hated this ending. It felt so like, I mean, the whole movie's cheesy. Like, it's not great, but like, I feel like that ending, like, really.
Well, it was just like, it was like, what's the point? Because they just literally were like, everything's perfect. It's not perfect.
Like, yeah, I don't know. To be like, because it looked dreamlike at the end. So it just seemed like she was still stuck in a dream. But I was like,
I mean, they could have just ended it like, honestly, it would have been better if they ended it the way they did, where then she gets in the car and they drive off normally, and you're left wondering, was that real? Was that not real?
Yeah, I think it could have been left open for a sequel anyway.
Yeah.
Which was like one of the reasons why to have a twist. But I'm like, you could have definitely kept going with it, because it was just Nancy being like, I don't believe in you.
Yeah.
All right, Freddy Krueger will be like, next, bitch. I'll go to the next person.
Exactly. That's why I was like, this is perfect opening. I don't know. I didn't like that ending at all. So that's my deleted scene.
I thought it was awful. And I usually hate twist endings like that, because I do feel like it does ruin a lot of the movie. It takes away stuff. So that's what I felt. But that's the movie. Yeah.
That's the movie. It's on. Dude, that was like, what? That was like a ride. I'm like.
It is a ride.
I say that all the time. I've learned that that's kind of like how I describe movies now, is like, this is a ride, because I didn't know where that was going.
It's true. Yeah, this movie was really like, I don't know. It was like all over the place. And I didn't know how to feel. I was like laughing. I knew it would like be funnier to me.
Yeah.
But like I was
goofy. It was definitely
very goofy.
Goofy. And I think the hard thing is it felt slow. Like that was what was the hardest bit for me, and what kind of brought it down ratings wise, because I was just like, there were a couple points where I was getting a little bored. I was like, I could see if I was with friends watching this and we were like chatting about it or whatever, but sitting there watching it just like me and Travis, it's not like a fun like watch.
No, I think it started off strong. I like Tina getting chased at the start and like her being scared. I think her death was like really cool. And I feel like it was like the best death because it felt creepy. It was watching her get thrown on the ceiling and stuff. And then after that, it just like really got a little too goofy at times and just didn't feel like the start. It just went like downhill. And I wish it kept that energy. And I don't mind Kreuger being a little silly. I'm like a psychopath, but I don't know. It just like didn't.
Yeah, I feel like it had a lot of potential. Like, that's why it's crazy that the remake wasn't any good, because the thing is, it had like the storyline, the concept is a good concept. The idea that something's going to kill you in your sleep, like, that's scary, because I want sleep. I want to sleep. I always want to sleep. I'm not staying awake. And then you could have it where like you're starting to, like, people get delusional in the daytime. So you could have been playing around with this and that element of fear and the fact that like no one's trusting her or believing her and whatever. And I like those dreamlike elements and you wondering what's a dream and what's not. That could have worked so well. And instead it ended up being a lot of girls in white shirts running through random alleys And running in like slow motion. They're like running in place, kind of.
Yeah. Which I'm like, I guess it's dreamlike, but it gets a little too old when it's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it was a little bit of it, but not.
Because we didn't get the guys, like it would have been cool to see like Rod or Glenn, trying to survive. We didn't get any of the guys. It was just the girls.
Just the girls.
And, and I like Nancy. I think she's a fun final girl because she's very much like, I'm going to kick his ass. And I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. It just like didn't hit. It didn't hit. I do like Freddy Krueger as a villain. I think he's like very iconic. I like his little sweater, his little hat. I like his look and his style.
Look. I face.
His like burnt face. Like he's iconic.
It did take me a while to realize the face being that way was because he got burned alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They do. I thought it was a pretty cool way to do it. And the remake, they made him look like actually like a burn victim, and I thought it looked pretty cool in the remake. And I think the remake, he was good. He was definitely less goofy. Like he was more sinister and creepy, but the plot itself was not great. But anyway, I thought he was cool, and the whole movie was just like prosthetics and practical effects because they didn't have money for like CGI stuff, so they're like, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. And so I thought that's cool, but and that's the best I'm gonna.
It wasn't great. It's not the worst I've seen. It just wasn't.
It's not the worst. Like, I don't know. I think it's a classic. And I like. I there are other classics that like I find The Exorcist better than this. I would prefer it over this, but it is a slasher. I'm not a fan of slashers anyway.
Yeah.
And it's pretty like campy, but I don't know. I just like I was not vibing it, and
no.
So
yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. These are the kind of movies I enjoy if you're in a group of friends and you have a bunch of you and you're kind of heckling the screen when you watch. Like, this is that kind of movie where I would watch this again solely if it was in that scenario. I would not watch this as a sit down, take notes sort of movie.
I feel like most 80s slashers are like that. Like, how many of them are actually good? It's just like, it's just all about, a lot of it's the effects. A lot of people watch it for the effects because a lot of it's like cool looking. They have to get real creative because they have no budget, and they just have to do that. So that's like a lot of what interests people to that. But usually the plot is not very good, and it's just like women's titties are out all the time. There's a lot of sex, and it's like, you'll get a few that are like, oh, it's like a good plot, but rarely not.
Right. Because there was no reason for the over sexualization that happens. Like the fact
especially
that
if they're supposed to be like 15. I'm
like, that's so gross. That's so gross. I hate that.
I hate it, but
it's not okay.
I do think, out of his movies, I feel like Scream is probably the best. I think Scream is really good.
I barely remember it.
I think that just like had a good plot, and he also did The Hills Have Eyes and The Last House on the Left, and those are like pretty dark, and
I haven't
they're
seen
not bad, but like,
I
don't know, not for me. They just have like these dark themes. It's funny because he like didn't want to do horror at all, and then was told to like make a horror movie, so he did. Last House on the Left is his first one, and ended up getting a lot of praise, so then he started just continuing with that. So
how did this do when it first came out, Kreuger? Like, was it like appreciated right away?
I think so. I think it got very popular. Let's see. Yeah, it was an instant commercial success. So worldwide gross was 57 million.
Okay.
And then this helped establish New Line Cinema as like a major studio.
Okay.
Before that, it wasn't anything at all. So it earned the nickname The House That Freddy Built. So this movie basically kind of did that. So so that's good. And it was recognized for its significance and was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. So
wow.
Pretty iconic. Yeah, I'm sure it was popular. I mean, it's different, It's definitely the idea of being killed in your sleep is scary. this villain was really different. They originally wanted to do something more like Jason, where it was like a big kind of like hulking figure. And then when the actor came to audition, they liked what he brought and had more of like a psycho type of persona. So,
dude, I can't imagine being like, I want to be the villain. Like,
dude, he was like, he loved this. He was like so into it. He was, and you can tell like he had fun with it. And the makeup like took 3 hours to put on. And by the end, his face was just like raw because of just how much he would have to do and remove it. But he had a good old time. So good for him. He seemed like he was enjoying himself. And I mean, I would too. Just like harassing teenagers and just like chasing them and shit around alleyways.
Yeah.
And like they would film in like alleyways with, you know, people are living there and stuff. And I can imagine filming and you're just hearing women screaming and this guy cackling and shit.
Oh my God, no.
So, but yeah, the idea actually came to Wes Craven from, this is
a dream.
Weird. No, yeah. But this was like something that happened to a group of Southeast Asian refugees from the Hmong tribe. And they were coming to the US to escape this murderous reign. And within a year of arriving, 3 men had died in similar ways. They would like have a nightmare and they would refuse to sleep as long as they could. And then when they finally fell asleep, they would wake up screaming and died. So autopsy results revealed that they had not died of heart failure, but just died. And they ended up calling it Asian death syndrome, which is like quite a variant of sudden unexpected death syndrome. So that's like really creepy. I don't like that. And that's what inspired this movie. So yeah, really creepy.
Oh, that's so creepy. That's more creepy than this actual movie.
I know. I was like, what do you mean it actually happened?
Like that.
And then another thing I want to bring up. So the scene where Freddy's running on fire, as you can tell, that was a stunt man.
Yeah.
His name was Anthony Cesare, and he is like the guy for being lit on fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like his move. So he only was supposed to run up the steps, but like he decided to run up the steps and then fall back down and do this whole thing on fire completely. And then at one point he just like lays on the stairs and they extinguish him. And then he gets up and was like, how was that? I'm like, oh my God. You're on fire for so long. Like it's crazy. But yeah, he is the fire guy. So.
Dude, I don't understand how anyone would want that job. That sounds so horrible. Light me on fire.
It's horrifying. And like I was getting anxious watching this man. I was like, that is a real man on fire.
Oh my God.
Doing this. Like that's crazy. So pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really cool. Rooms they used for Johnny Depp's death and Tina's death was a rotating room they created. So what they did for Tina is that she was like, it was like upside down for her. So she's crawling like on the floor, but it looks like it's on the ceiling. And the actor for Rod, they just strapped him to the floor and they just put so much gel in his hair so it wouldn't stick up. And they stuck everything so it wouldn't go upside down. And they would have the room rotating so the camera, it looks like it's right side up. It was upside down. It was like really, really cool. And then for Johnny Depp's death, they did the same thing where the blood was pouring from the ceiling down, but they flipped it so it looked like it was coming up.
That's wild.
So I thought that was like really, really cool.
That's cool. I like that aspect of it. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's
I
a lot
have
of
more
cool
appreciation.
Stuff. Yeah, you can find like all this on YouTube. And it's like it's really cool how creative people need to get, especially like back in the 80s where they're like, how are we going to make this work? We'll fucking figure it out. And it's really creative and cool. So I give them props for that. Yeah. I'm not going to give them a high rating, but I give them props for that and coming up with Freddy Kreuger, who I think is a pretty iconic villain. So
I agree. What do you rate it?
I feel like I have to rate it like a 2.9.
Okay.
You know, like it's a classic, but I just felt like bored and you know, I give them props for a lot. And like you said, it's a fun 80s movies to watch. Like if we're watching 80s horror, this is one that you're going to watch.
Yeah.
But I just like was not vibing it. I was not scared. I was not entertained.
Yeah.
And that's just like what it is. So I'll give it a 2.9.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Nice, so I started higher, and then as I was writing my review, I was like lower and lower.
Yeah.
So I did 1.75.
Okay.
So I started at 2, and then I was like looking at the other movies I've given a 2.
I know.
And I was like, this is not as good as these. This is where I'm like, sometimes I'm like, do I need to re-review movies? Because I feel like my spectrum.
I know. Because I was thinking my Oxford Year I rated pretty low. And I'm like, I have to think, what did I enjoy more?
Right. I'm like, I need to reevaluate my rating system, or just like let it be this chaotic mix, because some of these I'm like, I did not like this better than that. But
yeah.
Whatever. I just felt like it's like what you said. It was a little slow at times, a little boring. It could have been better. Just so much. Like it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. I enjoyed it more than probably Pet Sematary. Like,
I mean, it's like it's a campy 80s, so it's like there's some enjoyment to it, you know.
Yeah,
but
good, not great.
The movie itself, I have to be realistic with the rating as much as I can. So
yeah, I agree. So that's where I went with it. So the movie I'm picking for Demi, I was like going back and forth, and I told Demi a couple of ideas I had, because I was like, everyone knows by this point, if you've been listening to us for any point in time, Henry Cavill is my big celebrity crush, but he's not in like romance movies. So I was like, okay, well, my childhood crush is Zac Efron. So I was thinking about a Zac Efron movie, and there's so many options, especially with romances. Like,
especially with romance,
it's easy to have a crush at romances. And then Demi had suggested a more modern movie, and I was looking at it, Materialist, and then I saw it was A24, and I was just like, nice try.
No.
Nice try. I looked up the ending, and I was just like, I looked up, so I already know how it's going to end. I might watch it at some point.
I do know how it's going to end as well.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, I was not.
No, I didn't like what I read, and I was like, you know what? How dare you?
Doesn't seem realistic to me. But...
No, I'm telling you right now, I would make a different choice. You made the dumb person choice, and I don't even want to watch your stupid movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, spoiler alert, but
not a good ending.
Not a good ending. So I was like, I want to go with something that's going to be a little bit more feel good.
Okay.
So I decided to do a Zac Efron. And I decided to go mildly nostalgic, but not incredibly nostalgic. So probably early days of like his transformation from boy wonder to having a smidge more sex appeal to him, which of course, like, I had a crush on him from beginning. Zac Efron, let me look up. He's around our age. He is...
Yeah, I think he's just like a few years older.
Yeah, 87, so a little bit older.
Yeah.
So... like around this time, he's feeling like he was like aligned. Yeah. Like I'm like, yeah, he's around my age. So I was very attracted to him in these movies, which is okay for me to say because I was also a child at that time.
Yeah. We grew up with him. It's
right. So it's like, it is funny looking at the poster for what I'm going to pick up for you. So I'm picking out for you. I'm picking out 17 again. And I remember thinking he was such a babe. And now I'm looking at the poster.
So young, yeah.
He's a baby. And he's so goofy. Oh my God. He's a baby. I can't believe how attractive I thought he was.
I mean, he was.
He was attractive.
Like,
for us, he was attractive. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Obviously,
he still had the swoopy hair.
Yes.
But, you know.
Yeah, he was not, for a 30-something-year-old woman, obviously not going to be the way to go. I remember being like, he's so much more attractive as like Zac Efron than as Matthew Perry. But like, obviously I was going to think that in 2009.
Yeah, of course. Right.
So anyway, 17 again is the movie of this man, Mike O'Donnell. And I think he is on the verge of getting a divorce with his wife. He has 2 kids. Things aren't going great. And then suddenly he has the opportunity to go back and be 17 again, which was like the height of his life. And so he comes back. Can't imagine 17 being the height of your life, but gonna be me.
Peaked in high school.
Yeah, no, I would go to 28. I think 28 was a good year.
28 is a good year.
Yeah. I would not pick 17 for the life of me. So. So he comes back. It's Zac Efron, and he's going to school with like his kids, and he's realizing suddenly everything that he didn't realize he was like taking for granted before. So that's the movie. I think it's going to be a little problematic. I think some things might change in opinions, but
we'll see what happens.
I did love it.
I remember enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know that I've seen it in at least maybe 15 years, if not more.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. I honestly remembered a different actor other than Matthew Perry.
You don't remember?
Was like, no, I was thinking, what's his name? Who, oh, fuck, what's his name? What's that TV show with the coach, the soccer coach?
You're thinking of,
what's his name?
Jason Sudeikis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was like thinking like him.
I do love him. He's like, my celebrity crush from like college years.
Yeah, girl.
I love him.
So, for sure.
Olivia Wilde, you messed up.
Oh, God. Dude, that whole debacle is crazy. It's crazy.
Insane.
She didn't deserve him.
No, she didn't. And listen, we all think Harry Styles is an interesting person.
He is an interesting person.
Don't drop Sudeikis. Yep. So you'll recognize some faces.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling Knight is in it.
Oh my God. I like hated this man when I was growing. I hated his face and he was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was such a Disney Channel girly and I was like, this man.
You didn't like him and you were a Disney Channel girl? Oh, I loved his
he was in everything. He was like the Hawkeye and I'm like, I could not stand his face. So sorry to Sterling.
Yeah, no, now
I don't think he's that unattractive. Like looking back, I'm like, he really wasn't that bad looking.
No.
I think it was just his mouth that was weirding me out. But yeah, he was like that guy. And I was like, get this man out of here. Where is Joe Jonas?
Yeah, I know. That's fair. Joe Jonas was definitely like more. And then, you know what? But Joe Jonas has his own failings.
Shame.
Yeah. It's a real bummer.
Shame. Yeah.
Real bummer. All right.
I told my cousin that Demi Lovato ruined. Did I tell you about Demi Lovato ruining everything for me?
No, but I'm not surprised. Okay. I did not like Demi Lovato either. I think it's because
there's something. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, I had a plan that I was going to be a Disney Channel star.
You
and
did?
Get with Joe Jonas. I did. Not a real plan, but like in my head,
okay.
you know.
One of the fictionalized sort of
fantasies. I was going to make
it,
and Joe Jonas was going to fall in love with me. And then Demi Lovato came onto the scene, and I was like, there can't be two Demis.
Yeah.
I've literally never heard another Demi, and then Demi showed up, and she ruined my chance becoming a star and being with Joe Jonas. And my cousin Ari was like, you could have done it. I was like...
That's
Don't
great.
Support my delusions.
Yeah,
but thank you.
I love that. Leave Brett. Try again.
Yeah. So on Disney Plus, I have Demi Lovato as my icon, and I call her evil Demi.
Yeah.
And Brett didn't realize who she was, and he thought I was just like being mean to this random girl. And I was like,
God.
That's Demi Lovato. That's what's funny about this. She's evil Demi.
Yeah, she is evil Demi. That's really funny.
No hate to her.
Yeah.
Now, but
no, I mean, I definitely had a thing against her back then, but I think it's because like everyone who probably wanted to get with Joe.
Yeah, she like took that dream from us.
Yeah, and it's just like, how dare you? Meanwhile, in the background, she's like addicted to drugs and living a horrifying existence.
Poor girl was like on cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh God, all of them were.
Yeah, and then we're just like little kids, like doing nothing absolutely wrong. Like, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
17 again.
17
excited.
Again. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ish.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. But thank you for listening to How Do You Watch This? You can find us on Instagram at How Do You Watch This and TikTok at How Do You Watch, or you could, and YouTube.
Yep.
At How Do You Watch This. Find us on there. You can email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. And you can support us by giving us a review or recommending to a friend or two if you like the show.
Yeah, thanks. And see you next week.
See you next time.